Wild amaranth. Boy, that's a pretty one. There's 7 of them right there for you. Purslane, plantain, stinging nettles, dandelion, lamb's quarter, curly dock, and wild amaranth. It's in your email blast at the Power Hour News section. We'll be back after this 1 minute, 10-second break. Stay tuned.
What have I learned so far? I've learned that there is no one path right for everyone. I've learned that without my high school diploma, I can only do so much. My options were limited. I found a free personalized learning program with Learn for Life that has a flexible schedule so I could keep my job while earning my high school diploma. I found new career training opportunities that would jumpstart my future. What have I learned so far? I've learned that I can change my life.
Are you 14 to 19 years old and looking for a free high school diploma program with flexible meeting times? This program allows you to keep your job or important family responsibilities while earning your high school diploma. If you've fallen behind on credits or dropped out of school completely, get back on track with free tutoring, a caring faculty, and one-on-one attention. For more information on how to reach your graduation goal, visit learnforlife.org. That's LEARN, the number 4, LIFE.org. Or enroll today by calling 877-360-LEARN. That's 877-360-LEARN.
You're on board KCAA's Inland Talk Express. KCAA, Loma Linda, 1050 AM, the station that leaves no listener behind.
Good morning. I'm Chuck Kamlick, CNBC Radio. Stocks may rise on Wall Street today. Johnson Controls is the biggest auto parts maker in the country. Now it's looking at options for that business that could include a sale or a spinoff. Auto sales account for half of Johnson's $22 billion in global sales every year. Marriott Hotels now offering Netflix on guest room TVs, the first hotel to do so. Netflix has 62 million users. They can now log in at any Marriott in the world. All of a sudden, crude oil prices are up again, about $1.50 today, $61.50 a barrel. The oil industry says crude oil supplies fell again last week. The government's expected to issue similar news later this morning. And a couple of deals in the news. Bayer selling its diabetic glucose monitor business to Panasonic Healthcare for better than $1 billion. And Japan's Tokyo Marine Holdings will spend $7 billion to buy U.S. specialty insurance company HCC Insurance. This is Japan's biggest merger news this year. I'm Chuck Kamlick, CNBC Radio.
Have you had trouble with online dating? This is eHarmony founder Dr. Neil Clark Warren. We've created a new solution, EH Plus. EH Plus combines the personal attention of a matchmaker with eHarmony's extensive pool of great singles. EH Plus gives you hand-selected matches and freedom from being online. Get started today. Call 855-930-LOVE. That's 855-930-LOVE.
Overturned truck blocking the carpool lane, freeway construction slowing everything down. I travel for work. News like that used to ruin my whole day until I discovered Citrix GoToMeeting. With GoToMeeting, I can meet from anywhere using my computer, tablet, or smartphone. And with HD video, I simply turn on my webcam and it's like being in the same room, which means I can stay productive no matter how bad the traffic gets.
Visit GoToMeeting.com and start our free 30-day trial. That's GoToMeeting.com.
Desperate? Nothing to do? Just like some abuse?
Oh, God!
Well, then tune into The Poor Man weekdays at 2 p.m. on KCAA 1050 AM. Good morning. It's 6:02. Today we got partly cloudy skies and a chance of rain in the mountains. Temps got a spread between the 70s and 90s across SoCal. LA and Orange counties will see temps in the upper 70s, the beaches in the low 70s, the valleys and Inland Empire, the high in 92. High desert will be breezy with the temps in the low 90s. Mountains with a 30% chance of showers and temps in the upper 60s. Currently, it's 72 degrees at the station that leaves no listener behind, KCAA 1050 AM. Checking out traffic, it looks like stop-and-go traffic on the 91 between McKinley and Green River Road. In Riverside also, the I-215 northbound at University Avenue, an accident, the right-hand lane is blocked. And in Ontario, we have slow traffic on the 60 and the 57 Orange Freeway. That's going to slow you down for about 8 to 10 minutes. The 10 West is slow and go from Archibald to Central. The 210 West is busy between Haven and Foothill. That's traffic and weather from the station that leaves no listener behind, KCAA 1050 AM.
It's the Onion Radio News. An elderly area man silently wages war against a local pharmacy. This is Doyle Redland reporting. According to employees at the Copley Road Walgreens in Akron, Ohio, retiree Gerald Stennis, 87, has been waging a silent war against the store for the past 2 months. Walgreens manager Marianne Krieg has had about enough.
I sure as heck would like him to stop opening the tennis ball cans without involving the police or banning him from the store.
Stennis has thus far refused to explain his behavior, denying there is any feud, though he has been upset ever since they discontinued stocking Tetley iced tea in 1998. Currently, Stennis is in aisle 3 peeling the labels off vitamin bottles. Doyle Redland for the Onion Radio News, online at theonion.com.
In AgNet West today, cotton growers in Texas are facing a very difficult situation. The story after this.
As an almond grower, you can control damaging insect pests like navel orangeworm and peach twig borer late season. All it takes is the reliable, consistent protection of DuPont Altacore Insect Control. Apply Altacore beginning at early hull split for fast-acting, long-lasting protection without secondary pest problems. You'll get maximum yield, plus the shortest re-entry interval and a short PHI of only 10 days. Ask your DuPont retailer about Altacore. Always read and follow label directions. Some years, a growing season can seem like a wild roller coaster. Other years, you're just trying to get over one small hump after another. No matter what the ride is like, DuPont Crop Protection is right by your side with the very latest products to support California growers. From herbicides to insecticides and fungicides, DuPont has you covered. Weather, bugs, and disease don't let you know what their plans are in advance. That's why it pays to have DuPont on your side all season long. Always read and follow label directions.
All the rain and flooding in Texas kept many farmers from planting all the acres they intended to plant this year. In fact, as much as half or more were not planted. Agricultural economist at Texas A&M, John Robinson, says for cotton producers who could not plant their crop this year, it's an ironic and financially painful situation.
If you've lost crops because of drought and here this year you're losing a crop because of moisture, that's not only ironic, but it's a financial punch in the gut. If they have a prevented planting claim, they get like 50% of their insured value with limits on what they can do on that ground afterwards. If they plant a crop and harvest anything, either forage or grazing or a sorghum catch crop or something, then that reduces the prevented planting claim that they get up front. So they're somewhat limited in what they can make.
Agricultural economist John Robinson. I'm Sabrina Hill for AgnetWest.com.
Here's your Money Minute with Market Wrap host Mo Ansari.
If you follow the markets, you've probably been getting seasick lately. But what if I told you that market volatility can be a good thing? If you're a bargain hunter, this is your coupon. So keep your shopping list handy. If you're a long-term investor with plenty of time before retirement, the money going into your 401k each month will buy more shares when the markets are down. And if you have a good financial plan, you can relax while others worry, because that plan will carry you beyond today's headlines. Of course, you should always consider professional guidance before making any financial decisions. That's your Money Minute. I'm Mo Ansari.
For more tips on investing during market volatility and other investment topics, listen to Market Wrap weekdays at 5 p.m. on this station. For a free consultation with Mo Ansari, call 800-388-9700. That's 800-388-9700.
Compact Asset Management is a registered investment advisor. Funds custodian, Fidelity Institutional Wealth Services, member FINRA SIPC.
Like to spend a few days in another world? Then write this down. Golden Bear Cottages, Big Bear Lake. Now, listen, this is not some corporate-owned operation. It's family-owned and operated by some real nice people. Unique? Oh, you bet. Golden Bear Cottages features 28 one-of-a-kind cabins on a 5-acre historic site. Great for families, couples, and groups. And cabins are available with 1 to 7 bedrooms. Golden Bear Cottages is just a stone's throw from Big Bear Lake and super close to 3 great ski areas. Now, I could go on all day about Golden Bear Cottages in Big Bear, but to see everything, just go to goldenbear.net. Again, goldenbear.net. Golden Bear Cottages in Big Bear. Clean, comfortable, and affordable. Check them out. goldenbear.net.
KCAA, where every day is a great day. KCAA, Loma Linda.
Good morning, good morning. I'm Erin Brinker.
And I'm Tobin Brinker.
And we are on the Brink, the morning show here on KCAA AM 1050. It's Wednesday.
It is a glorious Wednesday.
It's a glorious Wednesday. Yesterday we had some weird weather. It looks like that weather's going to continue a little bit. It's still kind of sticky outside.
A little cloudy today, but yeah, I don't think we're going to have the drizzle like we did yesterday.
No. Well, and there was just enough drizzle to leave blotchy dirt marks on my car.
Yeah.
Which is really annoying. So
But
as soon as the clouds are gone, it's going to get washed.
But if you get a car wash today, that will bring the rain.
I know. That's why I said.
You will bring the rain, Erin. We need the rain.
So you're telling me to wash my car?
To bring the rain, yeah.
Because I'm powerful.
Do it. Do it. Come on.
So we hope that you had a productive Tuesday, and we've got a great show planned for you today. In the second half of the show, we're going to be talking to Tim Evans of the Unforgettables Foundation. And if you've been out at any event in Riverside or San Bernardino County, you've probably run into him. He is a very, very visible guy, and really it's a wonderful foundation, and I will let him tell you all about it. And they've got some expansion, some things going on, and it's really awesome. But before we get really started, I want to do what I always do and let people know all the ways they can listen to KCAA AM 1050. Of course, you can find us at 1050 on the AM dial. You can also find us on the web at kcaaradio.com. And at kcaaradio.com, you can find links to all of our social media, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. You can also watch our embedded Ustream feed or click through and watch our feed on Ustream itself. If you have a flip phone or a home phone and no radio and you want to call to listen, you can do that by calling in 832-999-1050, 832-999-1050. Your long-distance rates may apply, so you need to check with your carrier. If you are heading into LA and OC and you wanted to listen to us all the way in, and then while you're at work, listen to us on your iPhone or other Apple device with a TuneIn app, and with your Android device at kcaaexpress.com. So there's some great stories today.
We got a lot of good stories today.
I want to follow up about Dennis Hastert. We talked about him and the bribery and not bribery. I'm sorry, the blackmail, the $3.5 million of payout that he was going to pay, and there's some sexual impropriety with children that have been alleged. And given that he was going to pay the hush money, makes me believe that. That indeed where there's smoke, there's fire. So he's headed to court with a Watergate lawyer in tow. Ahead of his arraignment today in Chicago, Dennis Hastert has hired a high-profile lawyer who represented public officials in scandals, including Watergate, Whitewater, and Iran-Contra. Thomas Green of Sidley Austin, the same firm that once employed Barack and Michelle Obama, will stand next to Hastert as he formally hears the charges against him and enters a plea. And this is according to NBC News. The arraignment will be Hastert's first public appearance since he was indicted on charges of structuring cash withdrawals and lying to the FBI. The charges unveiled a sex scandal. Hastert will likely be released on a recognizance bond, while the identity of individual A, a former student of Hastert, at the center of the case will probably remain a secret.
Interesting. In the movies and in popular literature, we talk about mob lawyers.
Yes.
But we got to come up with a name for this, because you got these lawyers that handle these corrupt politicians, and they're kind of like the mob. These
Indeed,
guys, right?
Yeah, so, exactly like the mob.
Yeah, so we got to come up with a name for this. So, instead of a mob lawyer, what are you going to call them? I don't know.
A slob lawyer. I don't know.
Slob lawyer. Well, Denny Hastert was known for being not the sharpest dresser. He was a little rumply, so maybe slob lawyer fits for him, but
certainly not for the Obamas.
Not for the Obamas, no. But but a lawyer who covered Watergate and Whitewater and all these other scandals. I mean, that's like.
Yeah, they're scandal ready. Well, and you know what? I neglected to say good morning. We have a new board op here that's been kind of working with us for the last week, but he's not been on the air. And good morning, Bill. How you doing?
Toned, tanned, rested, and ready.
Oh, that's awesome. Is that like a live, alert, awake, and enthusiastic? Maybe not.
Come again?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
You're like, it's 6:12 in the morning. No.
I like it.
So what do you think about Denny Hastert?
Boy, he did not look like a happy camper yesterday. I saw him on the news, and he looks disturbed.
Yeah, it appears, allegedly, that his chickens are coming home to roost. So, yeah, I mean, you got time to face the music. bad.
It's hard to do that at that age when you've had all that power and you've known all the good times.
Yes.
And now this.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh boy.
Yes. So he had to have known that it was going to come. Well, obviously he knew it could come out because he was paying hush money. And I wonder how long he's been paying hush money. And I wonder if there are any more people that he's been paying off.
I would bet it's been going on for years.
Yeah,
we just didn't know about it.
We just didn't know about it. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
Well, and these wealthy, powerful people, they have a tendency of beating the rap, right? That they've got these great lawyers, and they're going to run out the clock on these things and come up with all kinds of ways. So it'll be years before he ever sees any kind of justice.
Yes. I mean, I've seen House of Cards. I know how it works.
Well, he could potentially get 10 years, not for the act itself, but for circumventing the banking laws.
Yeah.
And you go, 10 years, that's nothing. Well, at age 73, isn't that how old he is?
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
10 years at age 73 is... that's not nothing.
That's not nothing.
Yeah.
No. But will he go to Club Fed? I mean, is he going to have some cushy resort-like prison, in quotes?
He'll be hanging out with Blagojevich from, all the
yeah.
They have their own little club, right?
Rod Blagojevich, forgot about that character.
All the corrupt politicians, they have their own little club there at the jail, at the prison.
At Club Fed.
That's right.
I got to tell you, I lived in Illinois for about a year. My family came from there, but having been raised in California and going back there, what you would call corruption, they just call it another day.
It's just the
back
cost
there.
of doing business out there.
Well, what's wrong with that? That would likely be how they feel about it.
Hastert's from Chicago or from Illinois.
Yeah.
So he's
and
right
so
there
is
with
Blagojevich.
him. Yeah, I know. It's, surprise, surprise.
Well, and so are the Obamas. I mean, they're from Hawaii, or he's from Hawaii, but it's interesting. It's interesting. So, of course, we're going to continue to watch this story the sticky story as it continues to unfold.
Yeah.
I love The Simpsons. Although, truth be told, it's been a while since we watched every night. We used to watch.
We were addicted. We were like binge watching.
We were for like the first, I would say
20 years,
20 years of the show, 15, 20 years of the show, something like that. Well, they have now put out that Sideshow Bob will finally kill Bart in a Halloween episode.
Wow.
And now Halloween episodes are always a little weird, and they don't play into any story that is already going on with The Simpsons.
Yeah.
Sideshow Bob will finally get his revenge in an upcoming episode of The Simpsons. After 25 years of foiled murder plots, the character voiced by Kelsey Grammer, beautifully by Kelsey Grammer, I might add, will kill Bart Simpson in the show's annual Halloween episode. And this is the producers revealed this at Texas's ATX Festival over the weekend. It isn't clear how Bart will die, but he will, of course, return as if nothing happened in subsequent episodes. Entertainment Weekly reports, this is according to Entertainment Weekly, also appearing in the upcoming season, Homer's Spider Pig from the Simpsons movie.
Spider Pig.
Spider Pig does whatever a Spider Pig does. Yes, I remember that. And the voice of dozens of Simpsons characters will be absent. And we know that, was it Harry
Shearer?
Harry Shearer wanted more money and didn't get it, and he's left the show.
Well, he also wanted to be able to do off-air projects, which he's been doing forever, so I don't understand why there's a problem. Now, this
I think
late
it was
in the day,
just the money.
Oh, it's always the money, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's always the money.
A show like The Simpsons, it's been around for so long and it's such a moneymaker. After a while, these people want more. They want to get paid more as the show's being very profitable, and that cuts into the profits, and eventually they're no longer profitable.
Yeah, but don't they already get like huge amounts of money?
I'm sure.
They do, but eventually the producers say, we can make more money syndicating this than actually making fresh episodes.
Yep.
Why shouldn't we go that way?
Right. Well, and how many... They've already taken the plot to absurd places over and over again.
Yes.
And, it's... I wonder, how long will The Simpsons stay on the air? I mean, it's been 25 years, right? Something like that.
Simpsons will outlive both of us. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. Bart Simpson will be 10 years old forever.
I remember watching The Simpsons on the Tracy Ullman show all those years ago. Yep. And, I was a teenager, and it was cool. So, I'm a fan. I'm a fan.
Both my mom and dad were alive when that thing went on. Not so now.
Not so now. A lot has changed in 25 years.
Yes.
So we are heading into a break, aren't we?
Are we?
Are we?
I believe so.
I think we are. I'm Erin Brinker.
I'm Tobin Brinker.
We got Bill. Bill, what is your last name?
The Schwartz.
The Schwartz.
The Schwartz will be with you.
Now that's a movie.
That's a movie. I love that. So we have the Schwartz in the booth today. We'll be right back.
Back in 2008, Democratic Senator Dianne Feinstein declared, "There are parts of government that can be run like a business and should be run like a business." Thus, the chairwoman of the Senate committee overseeing congressional facilities privatized the restaurants and other food services in the U.S. Senate. Sure enough, those dining spots now turn a profit because they are being run like a business, specifically a business like McDonald's. Restaurant Associates, the New York outfit that got the House and Senate food contract, profits by paying poverty-level wages and generally mistreating the cooks, waitstaff, and other people who put the service in food service. Wages are less than $11 an hour, well below the very expensive cost of living in the Washington area. Everybody has second jobs, says one weary worker. And when our $174,000 a year members of Congress adjourn for the 3 months or so of vacations they take each year, the food service workers are sent away with no pay at all. I should note that Restaurant Associates did give a pay raise to some workers not long ago. It was 3 cents an hour. That's not a raise, it's an insult. I serve food to some of the most powerful people on earth, says a Senate cook. They often talk of expanded opportunity for workers, but most don't seem to notice or care that workers in their own building are struggling to survive. Care? A key Senate committee chairman, Representative Tom Graves, recently showed how much Congress cares about the inequality by refusing even to consider requiring food service contractors to pay a living wage. It's really not within the scope of this committee to micromanage all contracts, he sniffed. This is Jim Hightower saying, think of how that makes the Capitol dining staff feel. If I was old Tom, from now on I wouldn't eat anywhere in the Capitol without taking a food taster with me.
To get more of Jim Hightower's populist take on what Wall Street and Washington are up to, visit www.hightowerlowdown.org.
Hi, everybody. Ray Lucia here. We just saw the biggest jump in mortgage rates in more than 25 years. So now it's more important than ever to lock in your loan with a professional who has a thorough understanding of this wild mortgage market. That pro, Steve Alador, the loan financial planner from Rancho Financial. Steve is one of the top 1% of mortgage originators in the entire country. And for years, Steve has worked with me, my family members and friends, and in most cases will close your loan in 30 days or less. Time is critical if you're ready to buy or refi. No one knows where rates will go next. Learn the advantages of working with a direct lender who can fast-track your loan. Steve Alador can calculate which program is best for you and educate you about all of your options. Call the loan financial planner, Steve Alador, at 888-563-1070. That's 888-563-1070. Or watch Steve's free home loan webinar at loanfinancialplanner.com. That's loanfinancialplanner.com.
Do you have to ride the bus or depend on someone else for a ride? Is your current car giving you problems or just getting too old? Nearly everybody needs a car, but most people don't have enough money lying around. That's where car financing from Credit Yes comes in. For over a decade, Credit Yes has helped millions of people get the auto loan that's right for them. We want to help you too, and for free. Whether you have bad credit, no credit, or even gone through bankruptcy, we could help you get a car loan. We believe that everyone deserves a second chance. If you call right now, we could find you the right financing option, no matter your credit history. 855-669-7131. Every call is absolutely free and there's no obligation, meaning there's nothing to lose. Now is the time, and it's probably not always going to be this easy. We even have programs that may allow you to put zero money down. Don't wait any longer to get the car you need, no matter your credit history. Call Credit Yes for free right now. 855-669-7131. That's 855-669-7131. One last time, 855-669-7131.
Here's your Money Minute with Market Wrap host Mo Ansari.
If you follow the markets, you've probably been getting seasick lately. But what if I told you that market volatility can be a good thing? If you're a bargain hunter, this is your coupon. So keep your shopping list handy. If you're a long-term investor with plenty of time before retirement, the money going into your 401k each month will buy more shares when the markets are down. And if you have a good financial plan, you can relax while others worry, because that plan will carry you beyond today's headlines. Of course, you should should always consider professional guidance before making any financial decisions. That's your Money Minute. I'm Mo Ansari.
For more tips on investing during market volatility and other investment topics, listen to Market Wrap weekdays at 5 p.m. on this station. For a free consultation with Mo Ansari, call 800-388-9700. That's 800-388-9700.
Compact Asset Management is a registered investment advisor. Funds custodian, Fidelity Institutional Wealth Services, member FINRA SIPC.
Like to spend a few days in another world? Then write this down. Golden Bear Cottages, Big Bear Lake. Now, listen, this is not some corporate-owned operation. It's family-owned and operated by some real nice people. Unique? Oh, you bet. Golden Bear Cottages features 28 one-of-a-kind cabins on a 5-acre historic site. Great for families, couples, and groups. And cabins are available with 1 to 7 bedrooms. Golden Bear Cottages is just a stone's throw from Big Bear Lake and super close to 3 great ski areas. Now, I could go on all day about Golden Bear Cottages in Big Bear, but to see everything, just go to goldenbear.net. Again, goldenbear.net. Golden Bear Cottages in Big Bear. Clean, comfortable, and affordable. Check them out. goldenbear.net.
KCAA Loma Linda, your CNBC news station, where your business comes first.
Welcome back. I'm Erin Brinker.
And I'm Tobin Brinker.
And we have Bill the Schwartz.
I'm with you, baby.
In the booth. We are on the Brink, the morning show on KCAA AM 1050. San Bernardino County Housing Authority is in a little hot water at the moment.
Why are they in hot water?
Well, auditors have concluded that the San Bernardino County Housing Authority spent more than $3.2 million in federal funds earmarked for disabled homeless people on individuals who did not qualify for the program. Whoops.
So the money was supposed to go to disabled homeless people, and instead it went to...
Well, I'm having a computer issue. Why don't you keep reading?
So
instead of disabled people, you mean I could just limp in there and grab something?
There you go.
Yeah.
I stubbed my toe. Can I have some money, please?
So
Absolutely.
basically, HUD came in and reviewed 75 people who participated in the program, and of the 75 that they reviewed, 50 of them, or 66%, did not actually qualify for the program. 33 participants that were not meeting HUD's definition of homeless, and 17 that were not meeting HUD's criteria for being disabled and unable to live independently, according to the audit. So participants that were not meeting HUD's criteria for homelessness were actually living in housing when they filed their applications and were merely at risk for being homeless, while those not meeting disability requirements were not diagnosed by a licensed professional, were employed and therefore able to live independently, and did not receive any Social Security benefit payments according to the audit. So this is a pretty serious thing.
This is a pretty serious
apparently
thing.
the HUD audit is asking for the money back. They want...
well, that's how the federal government works, right?
They said you spent it on the wrong thing, and so we want our money back.
Well, and if this works the way that, say, Medicare would work or Medi-Cal would work, when they come in and audit and they find that large percentage, or if they find any percentage over like 10, I think, where there are errors, they will then extrapolate that, or that all of those... everybody, your 66% of all of your cases were incorrect, and they'll pull back all of that money.
The auditors also said in their 44-page report that they could not determine the eligibility of 8 of the 75 participants due to missing documentation. So the housing authority's practice created a risk of not meeting HUD's goal of ending homelessness for individuals with disabilities and families within San Bernardino County, the auditors concluded in their report. So
the housing authority, though, disagrees with the audits, pointing out its shortcomings in a 12-page response. And this is a letter from Executive Director Daniel Nackerman, dated May 13th. Nackerman said that the auditors failed to conduct a comprehensive and complete audit of all relevant files, only reviewing files in the possession of the housing authority and not the accompanying medical files in the possession of the county's Department of Behavioral Health. Though the county made it clear those files were available, and auditors said during the meeting they would follow up with a request for those documents, but they never did. This is according to Nackerman. The OIG refused to acknowledge and review the county's files, suggests that the staff simply decided of all the program materials should be under authority's roof in one file. Thus, any other system was not compliant with HUD requirements, and therefore the staff had no obligation to pursue other information. Well, it's really not the auditor's responsibility to go, searching out things that are not in the file. They come in and they audit what you have on your site.
Yeah, we have the same issue in a school district that when we get our files audited, we have to have everything in one place ready for those auditors when they walk in.
Right. And a cup of coffee and a smile.
You mean that actually happens?
Yes.
Wow.
There's no expectation that they're just going to be given sort of free range to go from this file to this office to that office looking for stuff. You have it all ready for them when they walk in.
That's right.
You make it about as easy as you can because you want to get a good audit.
Now, so the Housing Authority says we object to any funds being recaptured or repaid, particularly any non-federal funds, as there was no wrongdoing or ineligible costs in these circumstances as that warrant such penalties. And this is according to the executive director, Ackerman. This is in his response letter. Unfortunately, funding for these great needs is already in very short supply. In other words, they've got no way to pay the money back.
Yep.
HUD's Los Angeles Office of Community Planning and Development will be reaching out to the San Bernardino County Housing Authority in the coming weeks to discuss and determine a proposed action plan for each of the recommendations in the report, including target completion dates. So this is according to The Sun.
Yeah, and later when we come back after this break and after our guest, there's another article, I still have to find it, that the county just won a whole bunch of awards for innovative programs last night as well. So slammed with one hand and praised with the other.
Yep. Well, we're time for a break. I'm Erin Brinker.
I'm Tobin Brinker.
We've got Bill DeSchwartz in the booth. We are on the Brink, the morning show on Kcaa AM 1050. When we get back, we'll be talking with Tim Evans from the Unforgettables Foundation. We'll be right back.
Kcaa. California headline news. The LA Police Commission rules in the case of the death of Ezell Ford last summer.
The Police Commission unanimously found that the use of force by one police officer 2 was administrative disapproval, and one police officer 2 in policy, no further action.
Police Commission President Steve Soboroff announcing that one LA police officer involved in the shooting violated department policy. The other officer justified in using his weapon. It'll be up to the district attorney on whether to file criminal charges. Ford's mother says she's pleased with the decision. State Assembly Health Committee approves the bill requiring school children to be vaccinated.
SB 277 is about freedom. Freedom from deadly, crippling contagions.
Sponsor Dr. Richard Pan heckled by some at the final committee hearing for the controversial bill that now goes to the full assembly. San Francisco Board of Supervisors passing 3 of the nation's toughest laws regulating sugary drinks. Geico weather rains in the northern region of the state today. Jeff Scott, California News.
The 30-year fixed-rate mortgage. It's as American as apple pie. However, over the last 7 years or so, Americans who can't use a tax return or pay stub to qualify have been shut out. Until now, Cash Call Mortgage is happy to announce its new 30-year fixed-rate mortgage up to $3 million for good credit borrowers who can't or won't provide their tax returns or pay stubs. Your payment will never change. Until now, these programs have only been available as some kind of adjustable, and you know which way those adjustables will eventually go. So call 844-890-CASH for all of your 30-year fixed-rate mortgage needs, purchase or refinance. You can even pull up to $500,000 in equity out of your house for any reason whatsoever. Remember, that's 844-890-CASH to find out what today's 30-year fixed rate is with no tax returns. You'll be shocked at how low these rates are.
Impact Mortgage Corp. DBA Cash Call Mortgage. Equal housing lender. Call 866-900-8744 for terms and restrictions. California Department of Business Oversight. Residential Mortgage Lender. Law License 4131083. NMLS 128231.
It gets real, it's live, it's really live, local and in motion. Every day on KCAA, the Inland Empire's only live local motion talk. KCAA 1050 AM and KCAAradio.com.
Hey, this is Steve Sanchez, and do you know in 2007, I went off to the doctor for a basic checkup, and he informed me, Steve, you got plaque built up around your heart, and you're going to need stents. I informed him, with no offense, doc, I need a second opinion. I go off to a naturopathic doctor, and he introduces me to something called Zango. It's a juice made of the whole mangosteen fruit. You know, the mangosteen fruit has been used for centuries for healing. So, hey, what do I have to lose? I tried it. 3 months later, I go back to my cardiologist, no plaque, no stents, and I'm proud to say 7.5 years later, I'm stent free. I want to turn you on to Zango because it's the only true 100% mangosteen fruit juice. It's patented. In fact, the Mayo Clinic is paying attention because they're doing an extensive study because they cannot ignore all the testimonials around the world. I want to give you a free sample of the Zango juice today. Simply call 888-309-5656. That's 888-309-5656 for your free mangosteen juice sample today from the company called Zango.
Do you have a broken window or rock chip on your vehicle that needs repair? Give us a call at HM Auto Glass, 951-858-5190. HM Auto Glass is your locally owned and operated auto glass specialist, offering low cost and high quality auto glass repair and replacement. We also work with all major insurance companies and offer free mobile service. So call us, 951-858-5190. That number again is 951-858-5190.
Financial words of wisdom with Market Wrap host Mo Ansari.
Staying out of the market is the most dangerous thing you can do for your financial future. If you continue to spend like a drunken sailor, you're going to run out of money. This is not poker. This is your financial future.
It's helpful financial food for thought on your drive home with a host who tells it like it is. Market Wrap with Mo Ansari. Weekdays at 5 p.m. on Kcaa 1050 a.m., the station that leaves no listener behind.
Welcome back. I'm Erin Brinker.
I'm Tobin Brinker.
And we have Bill DeSchwartz in the booth today.
Morning.
We are on the Brink, the morning show here on KCAA AM 1050. And so joining us now, we have Tim Evans. He is the founder and executive director of the Unforgettables Foundation. And like I said at the top of the show, if you've been anywhere in the community at events or that sort of thing, you've probably met him. He is very, very active in the community, doing the great work that of the foundation. So Tim, welcome to the show.
Good morning, Erin.
It's so great to have you on. So,
well, thanks.
So,
it's a phenomenal honor.
So tell us about the Unforgettables Foundation.
Well, the Unforgettables is a little over 15 years old, and it exists because of an unmet need in the community here in Southern California. I was the chaplain of Loma Linda Children's Hospital when the Children's Hospital decided to be a standalone in 1990 and came from Washington, D.C. and worked there for about 13 years. And during that time, I saw that a lot of families who were going through the death of their children just really didn't have the accompanying resources to do a timely, simple, dignified funeral. And so we started the Unforgettables as a group of volunteers in the community.
And you have grown. So you started out with an office in Redlands, correct?
Well, actually, we even started out with a P.O. box in Redlands. And for the first, I'd say, 7 or 8 years, we really didn't have any paid staff at all, even part-time. And it would be a thing where I or my wife would come home from work and answer the phones, the answering machine in our bedroom, and would basically then call back either the mortuary or the families or the referring agency. Did it for a long time like that, but it just got too busy. And so then slowly but surely we got around to having full-time staff about 5 years ago. And we've had a little office in Redlands. It moved to Riverside and then came back to Redlands. But now we're in Redlands, and we're making it work.
So tell us about your expansion. You had mentioned as we were setting up this discussion that you all are moving to Las Vegas. We're growing in Las Vegas.
We're not moving our operation, but we are expanding. The Unforgettables is a concept and an idea that since the first time I came up with it, back then I was a part of what's called Pediatric Chaplains Network, a group of individuals who are full-time chaplains at children's hospitals across the USA. A pretty small niche group. It was maybe 60 people, and it's probably grown to about 100, but they still call me from all over the nation, including one of the lady chaplains from National Children's Hospital in Washington, D.C. last year, and they're saying, you know, we'd love to have a brand you guys are doing out there place. And so we're slowly beginning the process of expansion, of franchising. We're already in Canada at the largest children's hospital in the world, which is Toronto Sick Children's, or Sick Kids, I think is the actual name. And then in Ottawa, Canada. And so now we're moving into the Southern Nevada, Clark County, Vegas area with our first out-of-state here in the U.S. expansion.
Wow. And so you all are closely associated with children's hospitals, and so that's how you've been expanding and how you'll continue to expand.
Yeah, we're pretty independent. We work closely. I mean, probably we work as closely with Ronald McDonald House as with Loma Linda Children's, but we have always helped families at Loma Linda Children's. We've always had physicians from Loma Linda Children's on our board. In fact, the three people that I consulted with when the original idea came up and I tried to get it off the ground was Dr. Don Moores, who is the chief of pediatric trauma surgery, Tom Sherwin, who's there for 25 years.
Would you mind repeating that? Would you mind repeating that? You broke up right there.
Oh, I'm sorry. Dr. Don Moores, who's the chief of pediatric trauma surgery. Then Dr. Tom Sherwin, who is the ER doc for kids for 25 years, and he's a childhood friend of mine from Michigan. And then Dr. Claire Sheridan, who is the preeminent forensic and child abuse doctor in this part of California. Those three were very close and have always stayed very close friends and professional colleagues and advisors. And so we've been close to Loma Linda Children's in that regard. We've helped over 2,000 families of our 5,000 total as a direct result of the connections those kids had as patients or as outpatients or as affiliated. And that's not to say Loma Linda is a bad hospital in any way. In fact, it's the top of the line for kids in this region. But the sickest kids will always go to a children's hospital, and therefore a higher percentage of those kids will sadly die. And so we've always helped at Loma Linda. 2,000 families helped is a lot.
That is a lot. So can you share any stories with us?
Well, you know, just last week, what we do, Aaron, is in some ways unique to other charities. We kind of do our work in the shadows, and you have to just feel the sense that you're doing the right thing, have a sense of blessing that you're able to help a stranger or a neighbor. And our board and our volunteers have always been very good at that, just sensing that this is a good thing, that we're giving people the help we all hope we'll never need ourselves. Yeah. And so I was at a Starbucks planning an event with a person this last week, a lady from the Hispanic Chamber. And as we were leaving the Starbucks, a lady who obviously kind of has been roughed up by life and by society. You know, you could tell by her dress, by the way she was keeping herself, that she might even be homeless. But, pardon me, I'm always wearing my logo on my shirt. And this lady saw that. And she's probably in her 50s. And in a very loud, you know, kind of awkward voice said, "Hey, are you connected to that Unforgettables Foundation?" And everyone in the whole place heard her because she was really projecting her voice. And I said, "Sure." I said, "How can I help you?" And she just looked and said, "Well, my daughter committed suicide in 2004, and you guys helped us to bury her, and I never had a chance to say thank you."
Oh, my goodness.
And she turned around and she walked away.
Wow.
And that's the kind of stuff, you know, you can never imagine what that's like. Now, I'm blessed in that I'm the founder of the face of the cause, so I get some of that. But I have to tell our donors and our partners, and our board members and our volunteers that they share in that. There's so many people out there with 5,000 families helped.
Yeah.
That's kind of a raw idea cause, built from scratch, grassroots, volunteer-driven, always having to work hard to raise every bit of money that we have to hand out. That's the kind of thank you and congratulations and appreciation that will take you a long way.
So, Tim, do people find you or do you find them? I mean, I see sometimes driving down the street, these families will be having like a car wash to raise money for the funeral of a child. And, you know, are you guys stopping and talking to them, or are they going through some other channels, some agencies are directing them to you? How do people find you?
Well, from working as the chaplain all those years with social workers and nurses, and especially the county, the school systems told, and I know that you're involved,
Yeah.
both Riverside and San Bernardino County leaders within the school systems, either on the board or their executives, will call us when children die who are of school age, maybe walking to school, maybe they've been hit on a bike. The network for finding us is well intact. We think that we are reaching 80 to 90% of the people that fit our qualification. Our main problem, just like any charity, has always been finding and being identified and being known by donor types.
Yes.
But I think we're doing a pretty good job of being, the social service network knows us, all the hospitals know us,
Tim,
all the schools.
We have to take a break. Will you hold on with us while we take a break?
Certainly.
Wonderful. So we're talking with Tim Evans. He is the founder and executive director of the Unforgettables Foundation. I'm Erin Brinker.
And I'm Tobin Brinker.
And we have Bill the Schwartz in the booth.
Certainly.
And we are on the Brink, the morning show on KCAA AM 1050. We'll be right back.
You're listening to KCAA, your good neighbor along the way. It's time for the KCAA Community Calendar, brought to you exclusively by Learn for Life, a growing network of public charter schools. The clear mission of Learn for Life is to motivate and mentor students who have dropped out of school and provide them with the personalized education and technical training necessary to advance their lives.
Here's a look at the community calendar. I'm Carlos Gonzalez. The city of San Bernardino invites you to take advantage of Free Dump Day. If you haven't wanted mattresses, appliances, tires, electronics, or shrubs to get rid of, mark the last Saturday of each month on your calendar. You must provide proof of residency with your driver's license or utility bill. No hazardous or construction materials will be accepted. To find out the times and places for Free Dump Day, Google City of San Bernardino calendar. If you're looking for something fun, interesting, and free to do, the City of San Bernardino History and Railroad Museum is open every Saturday from 10 till 3. Schedule a group tour by calling 909-888-3634 and learn some fascinating firsts about San Bernardino. That number again, 909-888-3634. And that's a look at the KCAA Community Calendar. I'm Carlos Gonzalez.
The KCAA Community Calendar is presented exclusively by Learn for Life, a growing network of public charter schools where students can complete their education on a part-time basis. To find a resource center nearest you, call 1-877-360-LEARN or visit Learn for Life online at learn4life.org.
We are farmers. We are all-day long doers. Agriculture isn't just our industry, it's our way of life. We invest in equipment that's long-lasting, economical, and environmentally conscious because that's what it takes to do the job right. We're all about greater horsepower and cleaner emissions, new implements, more attachments, better technology, and dependable engineering. For all your ag equipment needs, we are Kubota.
West Coast Auto of Montclair is the 2015 top-rated pre-owned dealer in California, offering a service department that surpasses expectations in every single way. And while you're there, browse West Coast Auto's extensive lot of best-in-class pre-owned vehicles.
You're getting the best-in-class vehicles with financing options like 0% down and no payments for 90 days. Visit westcoastauto.com or call 9099-million.
Here's a look at the community calendar. I'm Carlos Gonzalez. The city of San Bernardino invites you to take advantage of free dump day. If you haven't wanted mattresses, appliances, tires, electronics, or shrubs to get rid of, mark the last Saturday of each month on your calendar. You must provide proof of residency with your driver's license or utility bill.
Like to spend a few days in another world? Then write this down. Golden Bear Cottages, Big Bear Lake. Now, listen, this is not some corporate-owned operation. It's family-owned and operated by some real nice people. Unique? Oh, you bet. Golden Bear Cottages features 28 one-of-a-kind cabins on a 5-acre historic site. Great for families, couples, and groups. And cabins are available with 1 to 7 bedrooms. Golden Bear Cottages is just a stone's throw from Big Bear Lake and super close to 3 great ski areas. Now, I could go on all day about Golden Bear Cottages in Big Bear, but to see everything, just go to goldenbear.net. Again, goldenbear.net. Golden Bear Cottages in Big Bear. Clean, comfortable, and affordable. Check them out. goldenbear.net.
KCAA is your CNBC News affiliate. We're the station that gets down to business.
Welcome back. I'm Erin Brinker.
And I'm Tobin Brinker.
We have Bill Schwartz in the booth. We're continuing our conversation with Tim Evans, the founder and executive director of the Unforgettables Foundation. So, Tim, first of all, welcome back from the break.
I'm glad to be back. Is Tim there?
Is Tim still with us? We're checking if he's still with us.
I got dropped.
Oh, you got dropped. Oh, that's terrible. All right, so glad to have you back. So tell us about any upcoming events you might be having or initiatives you might be having.
And again, thank you, Tobin and Aaron, for asking me to come on. I really appreciate that. We are always doing fundraisers like any other charity to keep us moving. I was going to just quickly wrap up and let you know that we've helped in 110 different towns in Southern California, Orange, Riverside, San Bernardino County, and yet one...
Oh, did we lose him again?
I think we're losing him.
Well, let me say while we're working to get Tim back that this is a wonderful organization, and if you're a listener and you've got some extra money or some extra time and you want to get involved in an organization that really makes a difference for people in their hour of need, the Unforgettables Foundation is that group that you want to get involved with, and we've shared their webpage on our social media sites.
Yes.
And
so
it's
you can... unforgettables.org. It's pretty easy, unforgettables.org.
Yeah.
And they are award-winning.
Okay,
so do we have him back?
Looks like Tim is back.
So, Tim, sorry.
I am so sorry.
That's all right.
3 cars standing in the middle of the street, but, the overcast sometimes here in the Highlands affects the service. I'm sorry.
It does. No, it's okay. It's all right. So talk a little bit about some of the awards that you all have won.
Well, we have been very fortunate to be given the Humanitarian of the Year Award by the San Bernardino Black Culture Foundation this last fall. That was a huge honor.
Yep.
And also the San Bernardino County Children's Network named us Community Service Provider of the Year this spring at the Shine the Light on Child Abuse Prevention Breakfast. So we're very blessed. Major League Baseball a couple years ago, along with People Magazine, named us one of the 90 most essential charities in North America.
Wow.
Called All Stars Among Us. The only one in Riverside and eastern San Bernardino County. There was another one in Chino, but that's right along the LA line. But all the way to out to the Phoenix area and up to Vegas from where we're at here, we covered that whole area as a single representative. So that was a huge honor.
Wow. Well, we are just absolutely thrilled to have had you on the air with us today. And give out your contact information one more time, because maybe there's a family listening who is in need or somebody who wants to write you a check.
That's phenomenal. Thank you. We're at 345 Eureka or Pearl Avenue.
Can you repeat
Avenue.
that? You broke up a little bit. Can you repeat that?
Wow. I'm sorry.
That's all right. It's okay.
345 Pearl Avenue in Redlands. 345 Pearl Avenue in Redlands,
Okay.
Suite 231. and then the zip code is 92374, and our phone number is 909-335-1600. And we do have a website, www.unforgettables.org. So I really appreciate you guys having us on.
Happy to have you on. We've already shared your website on all of our social media with our show, so hopefully our listeners can get it there as well. When you cut out the last time there, I took the opportunity to tell people you guys are such a great organization. I hope people hear this and like Aaron said, want to write you a check or help out in some way, because what you do is really important work in the community. And when people are in that moment, that's just such a dark place to be when you lose a child, and you really do need to have people there that are willing and able to help you. And your organization is sort of standing in that gap, and thank God for that. So,
thank you very much. Both of you have always been encouraging. Like I said, out of 110 different towns we've touched in Orange, Riverside, San Bernardino County, San Bernardino City has taken over 10% of the 5,000 cases.
Wow.
It shows it's a locally based guard.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, we hope you come back as you continue your expansion in Las Vegas, and as you have events and that sort of thing. Please remember that we're here to support and all the work that you're doing.
Thank you so very much.
Thank you. So we've been talking with Tim Evans, who is the founder and executive director of the Unforgettables Foundation. And, most people in their families have had some sort of something where a child has been lost. And in my family, I'm no different. I have two. And for those people who are immediately, especially the parents, immediately involved, it is a really desperate and dark time.
Tim mentioned schools, and in my 20 years of teaching, we've had at least a half a dozen kids who've passed away in that time period, and every time it happens at your school, it is an absolute tragedy. And oftentimes, like you said, the families are unequipped to deal with it. They don't have the insurance, they don't have the financial resources, and they're scrambling to try to figure out, how do we deal with this totally unexpected, horrible thing that's happened, all the while dealing with the grief. And it's just amazing that the Unforgettables Foundation is there and able to help.
It really is.
It is.
He mentioned this woman who came up to him and looked like she might be homeless and her daughter had committed suicide. And that, for all of the pain caused by a death of a child, suicide has to be the most painful.
Yeah.
And so I don't know who she is, but I'm going to pray for her, and because that has to be just agonizing.
So I wanted to go back before we had Tim on. We were talking about this scandal with the housing authority in San Bernardino County and how they had misused their HUD funds. And it struck a nerve with me because I'd also seen an article that the county had just won a whole bunch of awards.
And this article you saw was just yesterday.
Just yesterday. And it was the National Association of Counties, and San Bernardino County won 44 awards. Which is amazing. Last year they had won 31 awards, and so they've just blown it out at this award ceremony. And the first award that they won on the list was for those that help find housing for homeless families. And so I just was laughing because on the one hand we've got this article saying they got an award for providing homeless housing, and then on the other we're hearing that they actually violated the program and spent $3.1 million illegally.
Or inappropriately.
Inappropriately is probably better.
So NACO recognizes groundbreaking county government programs throughout the nation in areas of children and youth, criminal justice, county administration, planning, information technology, and health. The 44 county programs honored by NACO vary from those that find housing for homeless families to improving the land use permit process for customers. San Bernardino County was one of 17 counties in the state to receive awards. In Southern California, San Diego County won 39 awards, Los Angeles County 25, Riverside County 2, and Orange County 9. The awards will be presented at NACO's 2015 annual conference and exposition that's scheduled for July 10th through 13th in Mecklenburg County, North Carolina.
Yeah, and here's the thing. The county really is doing some spectacular work in these areas. I just thought it was kind of humorous that they got an award.
One day apart, these articles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I'm not in any way attempting to slam the county here. They deserve these awards. And I think one of the reasons that they're winning so many awards is because we have so many challenges that they're having to sort of figure out how to meet. And they're getting really creative and
they are
with limited resources and coming up with ways to try to solve some of these problems. And so kudos to the county for that. and a little chuckle about this this housing one here.
I know. We'll watch it. We'll watch and see how it goes, moving forward.
NACO's going to call and say, we saw that article and we need that award back.
I know. So I got to talk about Snoop Dogg here. We only have a couple 3 minutes of Snoop Dogg. He is a smart businessman. So it's Snoop Dogg versus Pabst. Do you like Pabst Blue Ribbon?
Pabst, it's not a beer that I drink. No.
So the rapper sued the brewing company yesterday, claiming the beer maker owes him a portion of its proceeds from the company's sale last year. The breach of contract lawsuit seeks 10% of net sales price paid to Pabst for its Colt 45 malt beer line, which was included in last year's sale to beer entrepreneur Eugene Casper. And an investment firm. Snoop Dogg signed a 3-year agreement in 2011 to endorse Colt 45's fruit-flavored beer, called Blast by Colt 45. The lawsuit states his contract called him to receive a portion of the sale if Pabst sold its Colt 45 operations before January 2015. Snoop's contract also called on the rapper to consult with Colt 45's marketing team at least once a year on how he would integrate Blast by Colt 45 into his concerts, interviews, and social media posts. He received an upfront payment of $250,000 and additional $20,000 for every 10th mention of beer on social media, TV, or during a concert. That's a good gig if you can get it.
Pabst has one famous cinematic moment. I don't know. You remember the movie Blue Velvet? Dennis Hopper, he was adamant about that beer. No, Pabst Blue Ribbon.
Well, and I know that Zach Brown band has talked about a PBR on the beach.
Yeah, I have a lot
of
friends.
On the clay, actually.
Yeah, no, I have a lot of friends who drink Pabst, and it's just not a beer that I'm fond of. It's not my preferred beer, but it's a real popular beer out there.
Well, and Colt 45, we don't have a television, so we don't watch.
Colt 45 was like a beer if you wanted to be like thug life when you were, like underage drinking.
Get Colt 45.
Give me a Colt 45. I'm a bad boy.
Well, that fits with Snoop, right? And he's really not a bad boy, but he has that image, and
Oh, he's
I'm
a bad
fan.
boy, Aaron.
Well, he just smokes a lot of weed.
Yeah. That's
so
not bad anymore. We've legalized it.
Well, we're at the end of our show. I'm Aaron Brinker.
I'm Tobin Brinker.
And we have Bill the Schwartz in the booth.
It's all over, honey. It's all over.
We are on the Brink, the morning show on Kcaa AM 1050. Have a great Wednesday, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow.
You're on board KCAA's Inland Talk Express. KCAA, Loma Linda, 1050 AM, the station that leaves no listener behind.
Sure, CNBC Radio stock futures are higher this hour. Applications for home mortgages rose last week, while interest rates hit their highest level since November 2014. Fixed 30-year mortgage rates average 4.17%. People will be spared having to pay taxes to access the Internet if a bill passed by the House makes it through the Senate. Lawmakers say that allowing states to tax Internet access would expose users to the same kinds of taxes and fees that often show up on telephone bills. The biggest European business group in China says the country needs to better protect trade secrets and fairly enforce business rules if Beijing wants to stem a reduction in European investment and hiring. And Tesla Motors is going to let some drivers test an autopilot feature at the end of the month. Tesla also expects to start delivering its new SUV called the Model X in 3 or 4 months. John Lesher, CNBC Radio.
Have you had trouble with online dating? This is eHarmony founder Dr. Neil Clark Warren. We've created a new solution, EH+. EH Plus combines the personal attention of a matchmaker with eHarmony's extensive pool of great singles. EH Plus gives you hand-selected matches and freedom from being online. Get started today. Call 855-930-LOVE. That's 855-930-LOVE.
Overturned truck blocking the carpool lane, freeway construction slowing everything down. I travel for work. News like that used to ruin my whole day until I discovered Citrix GoToMeeting. With GoToMeeting, I can meet from anywhere using my computer, tablet, or smartphone. And with HD video, I simply turn on my webcam and it's like being in the same room, which means I can stay productive no matter how bad the traffic gets.
Visit GoToMeeting.com and start our free 30-day trial. That's GoToMeeting.com.
Fridays just got fabulous. Don't forget to reserve a seat in the Happy Hour Lounge with Ben and Alexander every Friday at 6 p.m. on KCAA 1050 AM.
Good morning, it's 7:02. Checking out traffic and weather. Partly cloudy skies today. There's going to be a spread of between the 70s and 90s across SoCal. LA and Orange counties are going to see temps in the upper 70s with the beaches in the low 70s. Valleys and Inland Empire are going to be hitting the high of 92. High desert communities will be breezy with temps in the low 90s. Mountains will see a 30% chance of showers and temps in the upper 60s. Currently, it's 73 degrees at the station that leaves no listener behind, KCAA 1050 AM. Checking out traffic, it looks like stop-and-go traffic on the 91 in Corona between McKinley and Green River Road. In Upland, an accident is cleared at I-10 westbound before Mountain Avenue. And in Ontario, there's slow traffic on the 60 between I-15 and Archibald.
Hi, everybody. Ray Lucia here. You know, we just saw the biggest jump in mortgage rates in more than 25 years. So now it's more important than ever to lock in your loan with a professional who has a thorough understanding of this wild mortgage market. That pro, Steve Alador, the loan financial planner from Rancho Financial. Steve is one of the top 1% of mortgage originators in the entire country. And for years, Steve has worked with me, my family members and friends, and in most cases will close your loan in 30 days or less. Time is critical if you're ready to buy or refi. No one knows where rates will go next. Learn the advantages of working with a direct lender who can fast-track your loan. Steve Alador can calculate which program is best for you and educate you about all of your options. Call the loan financial planner, Steve Alador, at 888-563-1070. That's 888-563-1070. Or watch Steve's free home loan webinar at loanfinancialplanner.com.
Are you particular about the vitamins and supplements you take? Have you found that the big chain stores simply don't have what you need? Then you should know about the Vitamin Center of Agora Hills. You'll find rock-bottom prices on gourmet, top-quality vitamins and mineral supplements at the Vitamin Center. Get 30% off on all supplements and homeopathic products. All, not just selected merchandise. In addition, you'll find 30% off on all cosmetics, soaps, shampoos, toothpaste, makeup, hair coloring, and lip gloss. And all tea products are discounted 20%. Why go anywhere else? See for yourself at the Vitamin Center of Agora Hills, 5007 Canaan Road in Agora Hills. Or check out the savings and place your order online, VitaminCenterAgoraHills.com. Start saving by getting what you need from the Vitamin Center of Agora Hills. And tell a friend that the Vitamin Center ships nationwide. Call 818-707-0005. That's 818-707-0005. The Vitamin Center of Agora Hills.
Ever wonder what's wrong with the world today? It seems only sex and violence make any sort of noise in our media-driven lives. A politician cheats on his wife. A young girl gets raped. A millionaire commits suicide. Ever wonder, what's the point of all of this? And where does God fit in? If you're confused, feeling lost, or empty inside, there's a website that can help. Check out fishforgod.com. At fishforgod.com, we have some good guidance and answers to some of life's most important questions. Questions like, why do bad things happen to good people? And why do I need to be saved anyway? Without answers, we're all doomed to lead confused, empty lives. The cure for your happiness is here. You've got questions. We've got answers. Check out fishforgod.com. Again, that's fishforgod.com.
He has been a professional money manager for the last 18 years. He is a regular contributor to the Fox Business Channel and Bloomberg Radio. In addition to this, he is a regular contributor to TheStreet.com and MarketWatch.com. Now he's live here on the Wall Street Business Network. Here is Bill Gunderson.
And welcome to the Wednesday morning, June the 10th edition of the Best Stocks Now Radio Hour. What's that I see on my screen? Let me focus here. It's still early. That looks like green. We haven't seen green on the screen for quite some time. Hey, this is going to be a good day. I'm already in a good mood for a change today. The Dow is up 142 points. Wow. When's the last time we saw that? We're at 17,906 right now. That's 0.8% that we're making today in the Dow. The S&P 500 is up 15. That's 0.75. We're at 2,095 on the S&P 500. The Nasdaq's up a whopping 31. Well, not as much as the other two percentage-wise. It's only up 0.6%, but we'll take it. We're at 5,045. Investors in oil stocks are having a good day today. I've still got a few toes dipped in the water. They haven't been bid off yet. Crude oil's at $61.72. It's up 2.63%. Gold's at $11.88. Nothing to cheer about there for gold bugs for a long time. Boy, are they grumpy. Go talk to a gold bug these days, and they're just grumpy. The euro is at 1.13, rising once again. Greece, will they solve that problem? Now it's June 30th. Well, I can almost promise on June 30th they'll decide that it'll be July 30th, and then August 30th. Hopefully they get it solved at some point in time. Uh-oh, now here's the people that are waking up on the wrong side of the bed this morning, and I've warned you, I continue to warn you. There's a freight train coming through the bond market. 2.46 this morning. That's a huge jump in interest rate. Bonds are getting killed again. So welcome to the Best Stocks Now Radio Hour with professional money manager Bill Gunderson, president of Gunderson Capital Management in San Diego, California. If for no other reason, listening to this show, you heard back in 2009 in the springtime, I said spring was blooming. Little green shoots. Fruit trees were blossoming. The sun was starting to shine once again on a beleaguered stock market, which had just had a hurricane come through, nearly drowned most of us in our homes and in our portfolios and in our 401ks. It was a brutal one. It was the Great Recession. It ripped through the jobs market, infected every family in one way or another, I would say. I'm guessing, but I think so. In some one way or another in 2009 when the S&P went down 53%. But here on my radio show, I said, look, earnings are expected to start growing once again. Why? Because the Fed was injecting massive amounts of money into the system. And what impact does that have on the economy? Well, it's like steroids. It's like A-Rod. It's like Bobby Bonds. It's like Mark McGwire. Home runs being knocked out of the park. Take those steroids away, however, and you can see what's happened to the market since then. We're up 2% this year. And I don't see A-Rod hitting the home runs that he used to, but he's still a pretty good player. The steroids are gone from the system, and the steroids have moved overseas. Europe has them now. For that reason, I like the European markets. It's pretty hard to bet against steroids. That guy's going to have a better season than normal as long as he doesn't get caught. And the European market's on steroids. However, Europe's got one little hang-up that it needs to get cleared up. They need to do it. You know, they just need to be tough. How about some tough love? Tell them to go print drachmas. Goodbye, European Union. Go court your communist buddies in Russia or China or wherever. They need to get that cleaned up, and Europe can start progressing once again. They're printing money in Japan. Japanese markets hitting new all-time highs. And China continues to cut interest rates, which we can't cut anymore. When you get to zero, you can't cut anymore. How much more can I cut? That's like going on a diet and eating 0 calories. I can't do any more. Well, you can exercise and burn some calories. But once interest rates get to zero, there's nowhere to go but up. And up we are going. So the first big reason why it's been worth your while to listen to me drone on every morning is, one, I've kept you in the stock market since March of 2009, and what has been the result? The market has more than tripled. And you'll say, well, you're just one of those guys that says to buy and hold and to never sell. No, I'm not. Don't you dare call me a buy and holder. There's going to come a time when we're going to hit another bump in the economic cycle, and we're going to go through a down cycle, and the economy is going to contract. Maybe inflation comes into the picture. Interest rates are rising. The economy slows down. The jobs picture starts to slow down. And earnings of corporate America level off and start to fall. And there will be a time when I tell you, like I've been telling you in the bond market, to flee for the hills, head for higher ground, because higher interest rates are coming around the corner. And look at the walloping that the bond market has taken so far since I've warned about a bear market wrapping its arms around the bond market, which puts many people in my business in a conundrum. Many of them have never seen a rising interest rate environment. And they've been trained by their employers and the companies they work for to stay the course through thick and thin. I can't do that. I cannot do that. I cannot tell people if they have a 50% holding in bonds to stay the course. I would be giving them bad advice. Aren't I a financial advisor? Advisor means to give you good advice. Somebody that knows something more or is in it more than the average person. And from my perspective, this is the best advice that I can give you at the current time. And I said a month ago in my newsletter, a new bear market is underway in bonds. And look at where the 10-year yield is at, 2.46. It was at 1.60. Now that's 86 basis points to the upside. Last time I looked, the U.S. long bond was down 14.1%. I haven't even looked at it today. Let me just pull up a chart of TLT. You can do this at home. Ugh, that's an ugly chart. And it's only going to get uglier. But most of my industry has been trained to stay the course. Okay. So they're telling you to hold on to your bonds. Even though the winds are whipping up and the oceans are getting rough and the waves are slapping you in the face, you're supposed to stay the course in the bond market. I say otherwise. Has it been worth it to listen to my show to hear that you should run for the hills? And if you say, well, Bill, I missed it when you said to run for the hills, it's not too late. Look, interest rates are still only at 2.46%. The Fed has not even raised rates yet. Wait till that happens. They're still holding pat, waiting for a stronger economy. But we've got employment now at what? Full employment. 5.5% unemployment rate. Do you believe the numbers? Well, those are the numbers that the market looks at. Whether I believe them or not, those are the numbers that the market looks at. We're at full employment, and we still have a zero interest rate policy. Something has to give. Well, it's not too late to get out of the bond market. And if you're with one of those advisors who's been trained to stay the course, what do you think they're going to tell you when the stock market starts to rock and roll and reel? The same thing, Mr. Jones. You should stay the course. This is a scientific equation that won a Nobel Prize that says you should have a certain percentage of your assets in the bond market and a certain percentage of your assets in the stock market come hell or high water. Well, there's high water right now in the bond market, and it's up to you whether you're going to sink or swim. Me, I think there's a better way. I think just listening to this show just to get your asset allocation right is worth it. If you just get the bond stock decision right, you'll improve your returns dramatically over time. There's a time to be in bonds, there's a time to be in stocks, there's a time to be out of bonds, and there's a time to be out of stocks. And right now, this is a time to be out of bonds. This is Bill Gunderson. It's the Best Stocks Now Radio Hour. We'll be right back.
Is your IRA being managed by a robot? Does a nameless, faceless computer program make automatic decisions about what to do with your hard-earned money? Perhaps your employer conveniently invested your retirement with a supercomputer mega big box warehouse brokerage firm, and now you're simply thought of as just another number in a vast sea of millions. This is Rob Sanford for Gunderson Capital Management, and I'm here to testify that Bill Gunderson is no robot. I've seen him. Bill is in the office every single day from bell to bell, personally and actively managing the accounts of every single client. He never leaves the helm or turns over the wheelhouse to some junior trainee or office deckhand. He's the skipper. His decisions are thorough, well thought out, researched, and conducted with great care. So give Gunderson Capital Management a call at 855-611-BEST. If you're driving right now and can't write it down, just search Bill Gunderson on the web when you get home. So say goodbye to the robot and shake hands with Bill Gunderson today.
Are you having a hard time being in the right places at the right time in the market and being out of the wrong neighborhoods when troubles arise? Why don't you download Bill Gunderson's app? Best Stocks Now on your Apple or Android device. Every day, the Best Stocks Now app ranks the 45 asset classes that you have to choose from as an investor. It is absolutely vital to be in the right asset classes and out of the wrong ones. This has the potential to greatly increase your portfolio returns over time. It is also important to be in the right sectors of the market and out of the worst ones. The Best Stocks Now app ranks the various sectors in the markets on a daily basis. The app also ranks about 3,500 investment choices daily. The ranking is based on performance, value, and technical patterns. Download the app today from the Apple App Store or the Android Marketplace. That's the Best Stocks Now app. Bill Gunderson's Best Stocks Now newsletter gave a buy signal on the market on March 27, 2009. That was just 18 days after the S&P 500 had finally hit bottom at 666. The buy signal has been in place ever since. How valuable was that call in the weekly newsletter to investors? The market has more than doubled since then. While market pundits were clamoring about a collapsing dollar, runaway inflation, and soaring gold prices, Bill Gunderson's Best Stocks Now newsletter told investors that stocks were the best place to be. Bill Gunderson is not a permabull, however. At some point in the future, the newsletter will give a sell signal. Investors, be warned. The last bear market took 53% out of the S&P 500. Why not sign up for a free 4-week trial to Bill Gunderson's Best Stocks Now newsletter? You can do so by visiting his website at pwstreet.com. Again, that's pwstreet.com. There are a lot of investors out there in today's world that enjoy managing their own money. There's nothing wrong with this, but maybe you should manage a small portion of your overall portfolio and let a professional money manager manage your serious money. Just like you don't learn how to be an accomplished golfer by spending a few hours on the golf course or at the driving range on the weekends, it takes years of experience to even begin to understand how the financial markets work. And even then, it still takes hours and hours every day to stay on top of an ever-changing marketplace. There are numerous pitfalls that can stand in the way of the part-time investor. If a constant barrage of contradictory opinions keeps you from being able to make sound decisions, if you have a hard time keeping your emotions in check, or if you're continually selling at the bottom and buying at the top, then maybe it's time to consider a full-time professional money manager. Give the folks at Gunderson Capital Management a call and let Bill Gunderson manage your money. You can reach them at 855-611-BEST. That's 855-611-BEST or pwstreet.com.
And welcome back here to the second quarter of the Best Stocks Now radio. We've got a Cisco convention going on in town. I ran over to the convention center yesterday, did the stairs, and saw a big contingent here from Cisco. So welcome to Cisco welcome to San Diego to Cisco employees. I know tonight they're having a private concert in Petco by the Aerosmith. Steven Tyler, and my wife, my son's wife was in La Jolla yesterday with their friend, and they went into a restaurant, and there was Steven Tyler. And they got their picture taken with Mr. Tyler. I wonder how much Cisco pays Aerosmith to play a little private concert for Cisco employees. Anyways, it's all fun. It's all good. Here's another issue that I want to bring up. This is important. It's probably more important to know when to sell something. Now, am I an expert? Do I always sell at the perfect point in time? No, but I have some rules that I go by that probably makes me a little better seller than the average person out there. I know there's a lot of people that listen to my show and maybe do some analysis on some of the stocks that I talk about and maybe add them to their own portfolio. But what you don't hear on this show is the sell side of the equation. Well, if you get my newsletter, you see the sell side of the equation, at least by Saturday. Well, the sell side of the equation is sometimes more important than the buy side of the equation. I've had people on Twitter recently saying, Bill, do you still like these airline stocks? They're falling apart. I said, I sold the airline stocks weeks ago. I felt like I squeezed as much profits as I could out of those stocks. And those stocks started rolling over when oil prices finally hit bottom at $42 per barrel and started rising. And that was really the death knell for the airline stocks, at least for this latest cycle. Airline stocks do go through cycles, and they had a pretty good cycle when oil went from 107 to 42. When your biggest expense is gasoline, that's going to have a big impact on the plus side for the airline stocks. And I rode them for all they were worth for as long as I possibly could. I owned Southwest, I owned Alaska, and I owned one other one. I can't remember which one now. Maybe it was American Airlines. And when it was over, it was over. And knowing when to sell is very, very critical. And I would just say that, that's one of the advantages that I have to the person that's managing their own portfolio. Most people don't have the time to put in to watching the market every single day and looking at as many charts as I look at, and then being able to interpret those charts and seeing things that I don't like. Over 20 years, I've learned to see a chart that's starting to not look good and starting to look unfavorable. And a lot of people do-it-yourselfers, by the time they figure it out, they haven't looked at their stocks for days or maybe even a few weeks, and the next time they look, it's like, wow, what happened? I should have sold this thing before it got this bad. So being there every single day and watching things is a big advantage, and knowing when to sell is important. So some of the rules that I have for selling, and I don't have any exact rules, but looking at charts, I've said many times that, in the end, the final decision that I make whether to pull the trigger, either the buy trigger or the sell trigger, is how that 1-year chart looks. And I've talked many times about how there's only 4 phases that a stock can be in. It can be going sideways, which a lot of stocks are in right now. Look, the market's up 1% so far this year. There's a lot of sideways stocks. Well, you can't lose any money with the sideways stock. You can't make any money. If the fundamentals are still good on a sideways stock, I'm going to hold on to a sideways stock. If I'm looking for an entry point into a stock that I like that has good fundamentals, I'm more than likely going to buy it when it breaks out of that sideways funk. And then it breaks out of the sideways funk and it's in an uptrend. That's the second phase that a stock can be in. And the airline stocks did that, maybe 9 months ago. They broke out into uptrends. Many of the banks, if you're looking for one sector that's breaking out of trends right now and breaking out to new highs, it would be the banking sector and the brokerage sector. Okay, so then they break out and they're in an uptrend. That's a good thing. That's where you make the money, in an uptrend. And hopefully you bought a stock that's going to be in an uptrend for the next several years, but that doesn't happen too often. Stocks very rarely go on a run that lasts that long. Sometimes they can have a 6-month cycle. Sometimes they can have a 2-year cycle. The airlines had about a 6-month cycle. And then the third phase is a topping out phase. It's been going up for a long time and it's topping out. Now, when it tops out, that can mean one of two things. It's either taking a pause, the pause to refresh, consolidation, a little bit of profit taking, a few new investors coming into it. It's at equilibrium, it's going sideways, and then it's going to do one of two things from that topping out trend. It's going to break out again and march to new highs, and a lot of that depends upon the fundamentals of the stock. If it's gotten expensive and it starts to top out, a good example of that recently would have been Home Depot and Lowe's, which I made a good chunk of money in. And I sold them about 3 months ago because I didn't like the way they were topping out and starting to roll over. And that's the worst chart of all, a chart that is starting to roll over and looking down over the cliff. That's what the airline stock started to do maybe 2 months ago, something like that. And then the airline stocks went into that. What you don't want to see an airline stock go into is a down trend. They started to come in for a landing. They started to descend from 30,000 feet. Think of the bond market. This applies to every single asset that you could think of. Gold, oil, the dollar, China, India, bond market. The bond market finally topped out in about February of this year, and it's been rolling over, and it's now in a downtrend. Another name for a downtrend is a bear market. So yeah, you may think you're getting all the information from the show, and that's all you need is to listen to the show, but you're missing one half of the equation. You're missing the sell side of the equation, when to sell. And when someone sends me a tweet, Bill, what should I do with my airline stock now? You should have sold it several months ago, like I sold my airline stock several months ago. Yeah, it's time consuming. You got to be alert every single day. We'll be right back.
For more local radio every day, tune into KCAA Loma Linda.
California Headline News, more signs of just how costly the current drought is going to be, and a report from UC Davis saying it could cost the farming industry almost $3 billion and 18,000 jobs this year.
It's not just the farmers, it's the whole agricultural community and industry that's going to lose it, and it's going to work its way down to the workers, the truck drivers, and so on.
Dr. Richard Howard at UC Davis says contract farm workers are being hit especially hard. Prosecutors say they'll seek the death penalty for Jamie Rios, one of the suspected bank robbers from last summer's deadly shootout at Bank of the West in Stockton.
When the district attorney makes a decision to seek death, it's an extremely, extremely difficult decision. And it's done because it's the right thing to do.
Deputy DA Robert Himmelblau, the shootout last July left 2 suspects and a hostage dead. Another suspect is facing life in prison without parole. More than 40,000 homes affected by a power outage in the Bay Area, apparently caused by a squirrel. Geico weather clouding up, chance for showers. Jeff Scott, California News.
And now, a touching moment. Well, staying in touch with Geico.
I remember it like it was yesterday. As I downloaded the Geico app, a bluebird landed on my finger. I said, "Hey, Mr. Bluebird, did you know you can add a car to your Geico policy with just a tap of your finger? Just scan the VIN number. It's so easy." After that, we watched the sunset together and ate birdseed. The birdseed tasted super weird, but the sunset was nice.
VIN scanning to add a car. Just a few taps away on the Geico app.
Hey, California here with Geico to give you some interesting information. People like to say it only takes 20 minutes to get anywhere depending on traffic, but it takes even less time if you own a motorcycle. I mean, we all know that you're not just part of a club because you own one, you're part of a family. And in this family, the mother of all motorcycle insurance is Geico. With their competitive rates and emergency roadside service, they'll have you riding worry-free from Cali all the way to the Fornaya.
Geico Motorcycle. See how much you could save.
Check us out on Instagram, where you can watch videos, see pictures, and listen to audio of all your favorite KCAA shows. That's right, KCAA 1050 AM is now on Instagram. Go get your account.
Financial words of wisdom with Market Wrap host Mo Ansari.
Staying out of the market is the most dangerous thing you can do for your financial future.
If you continue to spend like a drunken sailor, you're going to run out of money. This is not poker. This is your financial future.
It's helpful financial food for thought on your drive home with a host who tells it like it is. Market Wrap with Mo Ansari. Weekdays at 5 p.m. on KCAA 1050 AM, the station that leaves no listener behind.
West Coast Auto of Montclair is the 2015 top-rated pre-owned dealer in California, offering a service department that surpasses expectations in every single way. And while you're there, browse West Coast Auto's extensive lot of best-in-class pre-owned vehicles.
You're getting the best-in-class vehicles with financing options like 0% down and no payments for 90 days. Visit westcoastauto.com or call 9099-million.
It's time for some delicious food at Pizza Dilly. Pizza Dilly Pizza in Colton, home of the famous 2-foot pizza with 32 slices of simply the best delicious Pizza Dilly mouth-watering pizza. Pizza Dilly has all kinds of lunch specials Monday through Friday, starting at $3.99, all delicious. Stop by, refresh, refuel, have a cold drink, enjoy a tasty salad or a great specialty delicious sub sandwich, or simply delightful Pizza Dilly wings. Pizza Dilly is also People Dilly because your friends are all already there enjoying one of Pizza Dilly's giant screens, watching one of their favorite teams, and if you love the Dodgers, you'll love Pizza Dilly, your hometown Dodger station, all year round. Come on in, enjoy a great pizza, enjoy Pizza Dilly, the real Dilly deal at 194 East Valley Boulevard in Colton, or call 909-370-0242. Once again, that's 909-370-0242.
The founder of a world-renowned symphony made up of children.
The Inland Empire's most heroic teacher.
The world-famous mixed martial arts hero, Baptiste Mansour.
The lady who's saving homeless kids in Redlands.
The Inland Empire has thousands of community, business, and kid heroes. Each week, we share their stories with you. Join us for My Awesome Empire and find out why the Inland Empire is so great.
Saturday afternoons at 5 p.m. on AM 1050 and KCAAradio.com.
And welcome back here to the second half of the Best Stocks Now radio hour. Well, one of the major factors that you have to take into account right now as you think about your own portfolio, whether you're managing it, whether you're having a robot manage it, whether you're having one of the big national firms manage it, or a little boutique brokerage house in your neighborhood, one of the biggest factors to take into account right now is a rising interest rate environment. That's a major change in the wind, a major sea change.